Well, good morning, my beautiful coffee beans. I've got something to tell you that just blows my mind. We have been covering the case of Miss Nancy Guthrie, 84-year-old grandmother ripped out of her bed in the middle of the night, never to be seen again after her children, her oldest daughter's husband, drops her off at her home after a night of fun, games, and dinner with the family on January 31st. By February 1st, the afternoon, they're receiving a call. She never showed up for church service. They go over there, they see a trail of blood, doors open, didn't know what to think of it. Thinks maybe she might have met with some medical issues, calls around to the hospital, finds out she's not there. Panic ensues. They call 911. They get law enforcement out there. And then they got to argue. Time has been delayed. We're all sitting on the sideline months later, begging the FBI to take over the case. And now we hear from Todd Blanche. Nope. He says it's not in the best interest of this case for the FBI to take over. Bombshell information. Breaking news this morning. Come on in. We've got a lot to talk about, guys. See you on the other side.
Bullhorn Betty rocks.
Grab your beverages. Get comfy. We got a lot to go over. Why is the FBI refusing to take over this case? We're getting into that on the Bullhorn Betty channel.
Coffee steaming, files on the table. We clocking early, hunt what's unstable. Bullhorn Betty on the curb, voice raised. Flip-flop queen with the homemade phrase. Notebook thick, got the screenshots flag. Names in red ink, every rumor, every tag. Late night live stream, screen glow on her face. Truth in her throat, got a lawman's pace. She don't blink when the threats roll through. Come see me, she says, if you think that's cute. Bullhorn Betty in the coffee club. We hunt bad guys till the sun comes up. From the front porch steps to the courthouse rug. We fighting for the ones that they gave up. Bullhorn Betty in the coffee club. Sip that truth from a styrofoam cup. From the quiet streets to the madhouse buzz. We ain't letting go till we get that justice. Insane Asylum, that's our crew nickname. Laugh so loud while we track these names. Whiteboard wild with the webs we spin. Pen to pen, see the pattern sink in. Turmo shaking when the case goes cold. We stir it back up, won't do what we're told. Doorstep question, side eye stare. Where were you that night? We hanging right there. Bullhorn Betty in the coffee club. We hunt bad guys till the sun comes up. From the front porch steps to the courthouse rug. We fighting for the ones that they gave up. Bullhorn Betty in the coffee club. Sip that truth from a styrofoam cup. From the quiet streets to the madhouse buzz. We ain't letting go till we get that justice. This for the faces on the milk cart labels. This for the families praying at tables. This for the names that the news won't say. We say them out loud every single day. Every day. If you're running in the dark, better feel that fear. Betty got a bullhorn right in your ear. Coffee club crazy, but we think so clear. One small town, whole world gonna hear. Hey! Bullhorn Betty in the coffee club. We hunt bad guys till the sun comes up. From the front porch steps to the courthouse rug. We fighting for the ones that the day gave up. Bullhorn Betty in the coffee club. Sip that truth from a styrofoam cup. From the quiet streets to the madhouse buzz. We ain't letting go till we take red
I'm not sure what's going on with our chat box, but our chat box keeps adjusting on me. It's driving me nuts. All right. Well, it's nice to see you guys. I'm Bullhorn Betty. We're covering the case of Miss Nancy Guthrie, as I said in our intro, and what a shocking statement that we have from Todd Blanche, our United States acting Attorney General. He was just confirmed through our Congress, or House and Senate and whatever they have to do back there. That was a struggle. So in order for him to get pushed through, We've been having a lot of people having problems with paying our political prisoners here in the United States, and so that went by the wayside. I don't know what's going to go on. I have a funny feeling President Trump's going to reactivate that at some point, but that's not neither here nor there for the show. Good morning, everybody. Yes, you are reading my title correctly. The FBI is refusing to take over this case. So it seems like they have been, at least at minimum, approached. Before we get started, guys, I just want to say good morning to everybody that's coming in. If you are new to the show, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. We survive on thumbs up button and shares, right? That's really what we are surviving on. If you guys don't know, we are in a federal lawsuit right now, but moreover, I'm being pushed to resolve the state appeals. So we're kind of doing what we can to fundraise, and a part of that fundraising is I'm being a little more active. I'm sorry I didn't get a article out yesterday. I was burning the candle at both ends. At the end of the day, we do have a new article out today. It's a paid article. I've been trying to alternate them, paid and free, paid and free, paid and free. So this is one of our paid. I think I gave you guys 2 free articles that we did, but this is a kind of a new one. So if you guys would like to support our Substack publications, please consider supporting our Substack publications. Otherwise, just enjoy the free reads that you do get. And this one is for our paid subscribers. We also have a fundraiser right now of shirts that Sonia's putting on to help raise funds for our appellate court. We're raising $5,000. We need a total of 12. I've got most of it in the account, so we are raising $5,000 right now. This is part of that $5,000 of funds being raised. She's got a lot of different shirts you can choose from if you guys would like to purchase a shirt to help. If you don't want a shirt and you just want to help out financially, we do have the Give, Send, Go account. This has been doing very, very well. We're already, I think, 12% on our goal over here. And that's for here. And we have obviously other money coming into other avenues, the shirts, as well as some, not much, but some of the Venmo, Cash Apps, and PayPals. A few people have sent some stuff up through those. So I just want to thank everybody that has participated. And we're doing the $5 cards. So these are the cards you guys get to choose from today. You guys get to choose Whisper of Faith, Have a Lovely Day. And these are, I call the wavy, what do I call them? They're not, I can't remember the word I used. Whatever. But they're like gratitude cards. They're aspiration cards, stuff like that. So these are really, I like these. These always have such positive message. We have other cards, so I alternate the cards. So we're not pulling from the same deck of cards. But these are the cards for today. We got the Whisper of Faith cards. You get 5 of those, or you can get 5 of Have a Lovely Day card, or you can get 5 of these wavy cards. And all of these always have good messages. And even if it's not a message that you need to hear, it's definitely a message that somebody that's in our chat needs to hear. So that's why I say, what is the universe telling us? And Melanie has been the first person to put toward $5, so I'll pick her out some cards. Please let me know one of 3 cards. We'll do 1 is Whisper, 2 is Have a Lovely Day, and the wavy gratitude is 3. So when you give the $5, put 1, 2, or 3 in there so I know which cards to pull from for you. Thank you. Who else do we have? We have Yo-Yo Mama, Yo, Sonia, Lisa B. Always, Melanie. It's nice to see you all in the chat. Good morning. Marissa, good morning. How many people do we have in chat right now? We're growing, 167. It's nice to see you. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. I don't want to get started too awfully quick until we start getting some people into the chat. So we'll get started with some other breaking news in the case. We have some people on X that are really looking at this and looking at the case and really keeping on the videos that they can get their hands on, reaching out to neighbors. There are some networks out there like Ring Network that allow people to see certain ones of their cameras. They get to pick and choose which ones they want the public to see. If they choose to have the public see them, you don't have to, but there is a program that puts some of these cameras on your Ring neighborhood so people can monitor the neighbors outside. So this is pretty interesting because, again, we got a creepy guy right behind Miss Nancy Guthrie, showing he's vaping. Could this be a guy? Could this be, one of the people that, or the porch guy? It does seem awfully interesting. I see the face, I see the jacket. Why is he wearing this thick jacket in the middle of summer? We got to ask those questions. What are they trying to hide? Because we had a porch guy that was head to toe covered, head to toe covered. So found this very interesting. Creepy guy behind Nancy Guthrie's home. He's showing he's vaping, which is pretty interesting because we had a guy that had a nightlight in his mouth. Could that have been something, to keep his nicotine down? Maybe, possibly. I don't know. But definitely interesting stuff. And we're going to get back to this. This is the actual, we read about Aaron Cross. Aaron Cross is a sergeant with the Pima County Sheriff's Department. He's the sheriff union president. He's been very vocal about some of the shortcomings of Pima County, some of his disdain for his boss, Chris Nanos, and his leadership. And it's very, very clear there is a facet of people that just do not like the leadership. They do not care to work under a criminal sheriff. I mean, I'm sorry. Good cops do not like working with bad cops. I'm sorry. You find me one place in the United States of America where we have bad cops or good cops really wanting to work with bad cops. I don't think we are going to get that. Period. I just don't think we're going to get that. So I think that's the first part of this infighting, in all fairness. So we're going to circle back to that. Then we got his, we played some of this yesterday. This is his prior boss. This is the guy above him. This is the guy, he had to take care of his dad. He couldn't run for sheriff anymore. He needed to step back so he could get his health and his family kind of situated. It was just a dire time for this guy, and to hear the first time that Chris Nanos, everybody's so happy that Chris Nanos got the ticket, and then as soon as Chris Nanos gets the ticket, he does this flip-flop, where he was ready to micromanage his team, and it's like, the team doesn't need to be micromanaged. You need to let your team, you need to trust the people. If he really thought he had a bang-up team and his team was the best team around, well, he wouldn't need to micromanage it, right? I mean, that's the way I would look at it. I don't see any point in micromanaging any team if they're doing their job, right? If they're doing their job, we let them do their job. Just saying. So why would his first statement to his people be that he's going to micromanage them? Nobody likes to be micromanaged. Nobody likes to be a professional with a high skill, a degree, and their job, their career, especially if it's a trained job. They want to be the best that they can be. And when you have somebody coming in and then shaking the fabric of the sheriff's department just to cater to their little man syndrome, it's terrible. It's terrible. I think we can all agree that it's terrible. What's going on here is terrible. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and get on with this. We'll go back. We'll double back. I know that a lot of you guys are here for the breaking news that we do have. And this is Todd Blanche basically telling the world that, I think it's this one. Let me refresh this real quick. I'm pretty sure it's this one. Yeah, this is it. He's basically telling the entire world that
Savannah Guthrie's beloved.
No, we're not taking over. I don't think that us taking over. And you know why I think it is? I think the case is so far gone. That's one of the reasons why the FBI has been bitching about, the handling of this case very publicly, because, everybody thinks that they're involved. And because they're involved, because people don't understand how, chain of command works, or what it is to have the authority and the jurisdiction and subject matter. Normal people don't understand all of this stuff, so they hear FBI and they think the FBI is involved and that the FBI is handling this case. They don't realize the FBI is just a resource. They don't understand what a resource is in a case like this. They hear FBI, they think the FBI, the highest of our land's law enforcement, is in the case. They don't realize that, yeah, they're in the case, but they're not. They're not leading the investigation. What does leading the investigation mean? It means that they have chain of command. That means they're the ones directing the people, their subordinates, assigning them the activity. They sit around at a round table, say, what needs to happen? What needs to happen? We're going to get into some of those reporting, what kind of reports we would have behind the scenes. I did do some research on that last night as well. So we're going to be getting into kind of into that realm of things. But one of our biggest advocacies for this case has been to hand it over to the FBI, to get it out of Pima County. I think that has been our drumbeat. That has been the true crime drumbeat of social media and people that are paying attention. I think it's even mainstream media's drumbeat at this point. I think everybody has watched the terrible work that Chris Nanos has done. The fact that he cannot formulate a proper sentence for this case. So I see we got five. Before I get too far into our talking points, let me just go over here and start getting some cards out. Thank you for all who have participated in this. We've got Phil, you picked the card for me. Okay, Miss Phil. Let's see who else we have. We have Melanie. Melanie, we're going to do Whispers of Faith. We're going to do Have a Lovely Day for Phil. Oh, thank you. You can pick my card. I appreciate it. And look at that. Oh, Arizona Raven, officially part of our family. Welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straitjacket and your padded room and welcome aboard. And it's because I'm a love machine. Ow! Thank you, Arizona Raven.
Okay, everyone. Great job. Back in the kitchen.
And then let them 66 through the quiet hum of existence. It reminds us to slow down, release our need to absolute control, and trust the present moment. Oh, that's really sweet. And we'll give you the wavy affirmations. There it is, the wavy affirmations. Okay, so Miss Melanie, you are first. Let me get you out. Let me get you shuffled here so we make sure that we have only new cards. I don't like getting cards that have been already used, and these are new decks, so all of these cards are going to be new to us. Thank goodness, right? We kind of wear out our cards, so every now and again we got a lot of decks of cards. I didn't say that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We got 5 cards for Mel. Put these back in here. I love these little boxes. These are good, sturdy boxes. Keep the cards safe in. All right, Mel, this is for you. It might not be for you, I mean, I do believe that some of these messages may not be for the people that are purchasing them, but are for the people in the chat. So, but who knows? Who knows? This might be your message. This might be your message. It's all up to chance. Show me your way, O Lord. Teach me your path. Psalms 25:4. It says on the back of it, life's journey is filled with choices, but when we ask God to show us his way, we open ourselves to his wisdom and purpose. Trust that he will lead you on the right path, bringing you peace and growth. As you seek his direction today, keep your heart open and willing to follow where he leads. Take a moment to pray for his guidance, knowing his way is always best for you. That is a nice card. Love it. Love it. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, my deliverer. My God is my rock, in whom I take refuge, my shield and the horn of my salvation and my stronghold. Psalms 18:2. Be deeply grateful for the steadfast support that God provides. Every time we pause in silence, we can reach out to him, knowing he is always present. He guides us, shields us, and lifts our spirit, offering refuge in time of trouble. His love is ever near, bringing us courage to face whatever comes our way. Take a moment to reflect on any challenges you may face today and seek his help and guidance. Oh, I just love these cards. These cards make you feel good. Cast all your anxiety onto him. How many people have anxiety? Well, we're going to cast it onto him according to 1 Peter 5:7. Let go of your worries, because not everything is meant to be in your control. I think a lot of us have to learn that. Let go of control. Maybe Chris Nanos needs to hear this card. Trust that each moment is part of the path God has laid out for you, even when it feels uncertain. You are exactly where you're meant to be, guided by his loving hand. Release the need to understand it all and find peace in knowing his plan is unfolding as it should. Just trust the Lord, for his care is constant and his grace is more than enough. I love it. See, I like these. I got to quit saying I like these after every one, but I do. It feels good. It feels like we're filling our cup a little bit. We stopped filling our cup a while ago. We haven't talked about our language of letting go in a while. I don't even know. I think I packed the book up already. Therefore, I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. Mark 11:24. Bring your request to God with a full heart, trusting that he hears you. Believe that what you ask for will be granted even before it comes to pass. Embody this faith, knowing that true belief goes beyond what is visible. Take a moment to ask from the depths of your heart, confident that what you seek is already on its way to you. Be grateful for his infinite love. Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden. I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. Life can often feel overwhelming, and the burdens we carry may seem too heavy to bear, yet God offers us a place to rest in his arms, a refuge that not only brings peace, but also comforts our weary souls. No matter how great the amazing truth is that the Lord's comfort is always available, all you need to do is turn to him and ask. Take a moment now to rely on to him. There you go. Whispers of Faith. Next, and that was good. It felt good. It felt good to read those. Now is Miss Phil from across the pond, our family member from across the pond. It's nice to see you, love bug. Let's get a little shuffle, tuffle. Let's get a little shuffle. It's too hard to try to shuffle these other than this. So we'll pull out of the middle. Okay, let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I know you got good ones. I know you do, because these are from the new deck. Let's see what we got. The silence inside us is the door to our inner wisdom. We can always access it if we remain quiet and listen. Ooh, listening to that inner voice. I love this one already. With your eyes closed, take 3 slow, deep breaths in. As you continue to breathe, focus on your inner eye. Located between your eyebrow. Take time, be still, and observe how your body feels. Once you feel relaxed, pose a lingering question to yourself and trust your inner voice to answer. Listen to yourself. This is your second card. I accept and love my unique self. I'm a powerful being. Say this to yourself out loud. I am a powerful being. Everything I need is within me. Today, I will follow my heart instead of conforming to others' expectations. Take a moment to visualize your day guided by your wisdom and your true self. Third card, growth begins beyond your comfort zone, and that is true. I try to instill that upon everybody. Dare to take the challenge. Dare to take the challenge. As you're taking your breathing exercises and visualizing yourself taking an action outside of your comfort zone, feel excited of daring and the satisfaction of stepping beyond your limits. One of the things I've got, you can't see it behind here, I got the green screen, but behind here on my wall, it says you can't change the world by being like it. So I hope you guys take that. I'm on a journey of self-discovery, and so far I am amazing. Even if I stumble today, I will treat myself with respect and love because I am unique and I deserve to keep growing and shining. Concentrate on small steps. The big steps will follow. Commit to creating a plan today with small, manageable steps. Note that planning is your first step, and remember, don't give up. Persistence breaks the barriers of impossible. Step backs mean nothing. You can always pick up where you left off. You can achieve this. So it sounds like if you have any, all of these were catered around, if you have any projects ongoing that you're procrastinating, get busy. Get busy. And who do we have left? We have Let Them 66. You're getting the positive curvy affirmations. We love this deck as well. We haven't gotten through it because it's got so many cards. We haven't even gone through this deck, even the first round yet. So there's still a lot of cards in here never seen or never read. So we got 5 here, and then we'll get back to our show. Thank you guys for the love and the support of this channel. Okay. Beauty. This is for you, Let Them 66. Beauty is whatever gives you joy. Woo! The world is before you, and you need not take it or leave it as it was when you came in. That means make it better, baby. Your spark can become a flame and change everything. Ooh. That will never come again as what makes life so sweet. That it will never come again is what makes life so sweet. So take your journey, and because it's never coming back. If you do nothing unexpected happens. So true. So true. Whatever you do every day matters more than what you do once in a while. Tension is who you think you should be. Relaxation is who you are. Ooh. What you are expecting determines whether you will or will not be able to see the possibilities all around you. One day is worth 2 tomorrows. And we can already tell that this is about procrastination. The minute you begin to do what you really want to do, it's really a different kind of life. And that is true. That is true. So hopefully somebody out there, hopefully the people that got these cards got something out of their cards. For those that are out there in the ether, hopefully you all got something out of these cards. Hopefully it empowered you somehow. You know, that's why we read them out loud. I could send these privately to everybody so they have their private personal message. But we don't do that here on the Bullhorn Betty channel because I feel like everybody needs to hear the message. We've got a lot of people in chat, so I'm going to move this along. We're going to say hi to Aletha, Deb, DeBoss, Frank, Bam Bam. It's nice to see you. Frank it up. Good morning. Good morning. All of the beautiful coffee beans. Terry, it's nice to see you. YouTuber is here. Hello, hello, hello. Rachel, Claudia, good morning. It's nice to see you. Sonia, our beautiful mods up in chat. Lisa B. Walways, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians. Why can't I say it right today? I'm struggling with words. 4:13. We'll give you a couple of positive affirmations too. Miss Lisa B. Always. What do we got here? We're going to do the curvy affirmations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I got 5 cards here. Let's see what the universe wants us to hear from you. Let's see. And then we're going to get back onto Miss Guthrie and this Todd Blanche interview, which is going to shock us. Breaking news, folks. Breaking news. FBI does not want the Guthrie case. It's kind of upsetting. Follow what you will love, and it will take you where you want to go. Be happy for this moment. This moment is your life. Life even in the hardest times is full of moments to savor. They will not come this way again, not in this way. I've always thought that the biggest laugh is a real loud noise from a soul saying, "Ain't that the truth?" Never let yesterday use up today. Ooh, I like that. Taking time first thing to visualize an incredible day. Nice. Great opportunities to help others seldom come, but small ones surround us every day. Ooh, we always talk about doing those, things for the perfect stranger, like, just buying something, doing something, to pay it forward. I can't remember exactly what we do, but we give back. We pay it forward. It's kind of a pay it forward thing. So wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. Great opportunities to help others seldom come, but small ones surround us every day. There is no greater joy nor greater return or reward than to make a fundamental difference in somebody's life. Only those who will risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go. And now you know what the Bertha Betty is about. Bertha Betty. We always push the limits. We always push the limits because we don't know what the limits are until we push them. So thank you guys for all the people that participated. Thank you guys. We appreciate it. I hope somebody got some positivity this Manic Monday, right? It's a Manic Monday. We've got, a lot of stuff going on. Even though we're talking about Nancy Guthrie's case, because we have a good, there's something changing in it almost daily. We're keeping it alive. It seems like as long as we have something to talk about, we'll continue to talk about it. But there's also other cases going on. Every single day crime happens. Every single day somebody is lost here in America and is a victim of a violent crime. So cases are going all over this country that aren't making the news quite like Miss Nancy Guthrie's case is. So we're going to take some time probably this afternoon. Maybe I'll do it on the other channel, but I'm going to be trying to get back. We occasionally come back. We have a second channel that we try to do something on because it's a monetized channel. It's out there, and I'd like to do something a little different because I feel like our main channel is gobbled with nuances of specific cases. So when we were with Sebastian Rogers, we rolled Sebastian Rogers on this channel all the time. We were in Summer Wells, we rolled Summer Wells content on this channel all the time. But because there's always crime happening, I like to get you guys filled up with other news. And I just don't have the time. The way YouTube works and the notifications and stuff like that, once I close this down, I have to move over to the other channel in order for notifications to come out. So if you haven't been a subscriber for the other channel, you might want to consider subscribing to our other channel, because I don't throw stuff out there too often. I do regularly. I every month there's something that's produced over there on the other channel that's not produced on this channel. So it is something that you would, and it's free. You can be a subscriber. You don't have to support the channel financially at all. Just the content over there. We got, sometimes Florida breaking news. Sometimes we have USA breaking news. Sometimes we have shows, like I'll take something that we haven't talked about on the main channel in a while and throw it over there. So it's not really something that we're there on every single day. But it's definitely a channel that we do post on, and we post content that's different from this channel. So if you like the content on this channel, and if we were to post on another channel, you'd want to see it, then you'll want to get over to our second channel. It's Bullhorn Petty Crime Stories channel. And we do a little bit. I'm not sure. That's going to end up rolling out to be something different than it is. I think that's going to end up being our cold case channel at some point when I start getting my schedule and everything kind of more stabilized, which I don't see that happening until 2028. So at that point, we'll probably be doing something more. At that point, we'll probably be opening up our Patreon account and starting to dump case files in, physical case files that you guys can review and break down and stuff like that. So I'm not ready for that yet, but that's going to ultimately be what our Patreon account will be for. It'll be for you guys getting the actual the receipts of all these cases and trials, right? Just seeing what's there. It's going to be, it costs a lot of money to pull these public records. So, yeah, and that's why I'm kind of hesitant. I still want to build this aspect of it before we start doing that, because that's going to be, just to get it rolled out, it's going to be a financial liability until we get it, until we get enough case files in there that people are interested in supporting that platform. So I'm not ready to dive into that just yet, but we will. So we're growing. We're always growing here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. We're just now rolling out publications. I haven't even set up the website yet. We've owned the website since I came out, for 5 years. I've owned bullhornbetty.com, and I've been paying for bullhornbetty.com. I just have done nothing with it, right? So we're going to continue to build this brand out, and there is going to be a bullhornbetty.com coming, and this is going to be your New York Post. Okay, when I roll out that, it's not going to be for cells and stuff like that. It's going to be a place where you can go to do research. Okay, it's going to be a place that you can go find stuff about different cases, maybe even cases we're not talking about. And again, it's a time suck, so I'm not quite ready to roll that out, but I am going to have that rolled out in the next year. I have committed to it. Within the next year, we're going to be rolling it out. How it's going to ultimately function at the end of it will be different. Anyways, okay, guys, so now you guys get where we're going, the direction of this channel. Thank you. I love the inspiration cards and all that. It gives us good juju to start our day. Now we're going to get into the funky gunky, okay? We're going to get in the funky gunky. One of our biggest drum beats in this case for this channel, I will be honest with you, has been the FBI taking over. I feel Chris Nanos is a criminal sheriff. I feel like his team has botched this case beyond comprehension. None of us understand what the hell they were thinking. And I think that's the bottom line. What the hell were they thinking? I don't know. I truly don't know. But at the end of the day, this is where we're at. And now we're hearing that the FBI doesn't want the case. I'm heartbroken. I'm heartbroken because this family needs relief. And the current investigation is going nowhere. They've pissed away so much time. And it's almost as if they're saying, we don't want it because we don't want to spend the time and the resources for it. Listen, I don't care. This is our federal government. And this is where I'm getting angry, because I want the feds involved in more than just this case. Because all around this country, we have incompetent law enforcement bodies. Okay, if we have incompetent law enforcement bodies in the red county of Hendersonville, Tennessee, and we have competency issues in our law enforcement in the blue county of Pima County, Arizona, well, that's telling us that we have a lot of law enforcement. It's not political, because we just have dum-dums heading a lot of law enforcement departments that are not competent for the job. And listen, competence comes with the crime, right? The on-the-job training. That means if you don't have a lot of murderers, you're not going to have a competent homicide investigator. Why? Because even if you bring in a homicide investigator from a different department that's good, if you don't have enough homicide cases to keep him active in the mindset of homicides, then he's going to even lose some of the stuff and some of the tools in his toolbox over time. Trust me, I know this. I was a very good paralegal whenever I'm still a good paralegal, but like even now that I'm taking on a lot of my legal stuff, I'm having to research a lot of the stuff and remember a lot of the stuff that I've lost over the years. So don't think that just because you learn it, you don't lose it. If you don't use it, you lose it. Okay? When you stop using the skills that you have, you start losing the skills that you have. You forget certain steps. So it's not the fault of these communities in many of these cases. Ignorance is just ignorance. They don't have the crime to have the education or the experience. And that is a double-edged sword, right? I mean, we would love to have communities that have little crime in it, so their law enforcement is ignorant to serious crime because they don't have it. I mean, those are good problems to have, don't you agree? But the bad problem, the double-edged sword of that, is when you do have a homicide investigation, now you have a whole bunch of people that don't know what the heck they're doing. They're going to do their best. They're going to put their best foot forward. But let's face it, people that don't face these types of crimes don't know how to properly investigate them. And even if they were trained to investigate them or go to training once a year, they lose all of that throughout the year because of the simple fact that they themselves don't have the experience. Now, we go back to Pima County. This is one of the 7th largest counties in Arizona. Okay, this is the largest, from my understanding, southern county, or in this area county, but it's the 7th largest. It's a huge, huge, huge county. You would expect them to have these types of crimes, and they do. We look back and we see how much crime they have in their community. They got a lot of crime. They should have a lot of competent law enforcement officers. There should be absolutely zero circumstances where we have an entire department that only has 2 and 3 years of education. Okay? That's been the problem. We have only 2 and 3 years seasoned law enforcement in the homicide department. The reason why there's nobody with some serious time in the homicide department is because, once again, Chris Nanos got mad at the department because they supported his prior, the person that was running against him. And because they supported her candidacy, they were ostracized. That should be a lawsuit. Why these law enforcement officers that keep getting sidelined are not filing lawsuits, I don't understand why. I mean, with your membership to the union, you should have an attorney that's retained as part of the union attorney. Why isn't that attorney being used? Or why aren't they having an attorney, a pro bono attorney, helping their cause out? You know? Or setting up a nonprofit to pay for these attorney fees, or something to that effect. Like, at the end of the day, there is stuff here that I could see that they could sue for and change policy within the department so this doesn't happen again. But I don't see anybody doing that. Just like with Queen Bee, everybody's talking and smearing Queen Bee all over these channels, and I don't understand that. If you truly have a claim, make the claim with law enforcement. You're talking about fraud. Okay? You're talking about a felony. So quit, I get so annoyed with people, wanting the clicks and the views of talking about how fraudulent Queen Bee and all this other stuff is. Look, if you guys truly believe then you wouldn't be talking on these streets. You would be filing reports with the FBI and the state attorney in Illinois for a thorough investigation of the matter. And anything short of that, you guys are just sitting here, just dragging this out, smearing a lady and doing this for clicks and views. And I don't get down like that. Okay? That's no different than what she does to all of y'all. So if it's tit and tat and all this other stuff, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to be a part of it. But if you guys truly want to go after her, well, that's how you do it. Collect your information, turn it over to the FBI. You guys are already through. I mean, hell, this happened. You're almost through your first year. It's at this point, September, you're going to have to shit or get off the pot. So what say you? If you guys are going to do something, now's the time to strike federally, okay, and criminally. But if you guys wait too long to come together and take action, well, your window of opportunity might go by, because you got to understand these types of crimes have statutes of limitations on them. What is the statute of limitation for fraud? Let's see. Let's look that up here real quick. What is the federal statute of limitation for fraud? 5 years for federal. Let's go for Illinois. What is the state of Illinois? $5 years. Wait, hold on. There's a few of them. So in Illinois, the statutes of limitation of fraud depends on specific types of claims. Common law fraud is 5 years. This would be common law fraud, I think. Actually, consumer fraud has a 3-year limit. So you guys might be constrained to 3 years. And criminal financial fraud, identity theft can extend up to 7 years. Can extend up to 7 years. So the criminal aspect is, but you guys need to act. You guys need to act. So your statutes of limitations to file a claim on her in Illinois for consumer fraud would be 3 years. But I would be filing complaints with her her sheriff's department, the state attorney, and the FBI. Just if you guys believe that she has violated your rights, I didn't get involved in that. You guys were coming after me. I wasn't going after you. I didn't pick this fight with Queen Bee. I never even knew who she was. She decided to pick it with me. She picked me out of a lineup and said, "Oop, that's who I'm going to pick on," and that's what she did. And she tried to destroy my. She didn't even try to destroy just my life. She tried to destroy my entire family's lives. She stalked me. She had people stalk me. She had people following me no matter where I went. And people were like, "Oh, Betty's lying. Betty's lying." No, I'm not. And no, she did not win her suit. Okay? She did not win. I can promise you that, because I can turn around because of everything she's saying right now. She's lying about Bullhorn Betty, and she's lying about this case. And if I really wanted to take her back to court, I would take her back to court to make sure that these are accurate on the record. So if she keeps wanting to fuck around, she's going to find out again, because I will take her back to court again. And I've already got all the pleadings. And it seems like the whole damn hate channels are over it. So I don't see her being funded again. Just saying. So I'm not the one. And Queen, you know that. So I would just stop with my name. Because I'm finding any way possible. You've known this for a while, and I've been very transparent about it. I want to see you in jail. Okay, Queen? Like me, my goal is to make sure your criminal ass goes back to jail, okay? Not by any means necessary. Lawful and legal reasons why you should go back to jail. Because you're a criminal in my mind. Allegedly and in my opinion. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. You can't. You can't. So if you guys feel she fraudulent, I don't want to hear people going on their channel and making fun and dragging this lady. If you guys want something done, do action. Because we're an action channel over here. Okay? And if somebody did this to me, I would definitely be filing suit with the feds. I filed multiple suits. Go ask unscrupulous PI. He almost lost his license in Tennessee because of the shit he was doing. And we were coming after him hard in every single state. We do not play. But one thing we don't do is come up here and run our mouth on this thing without action. If I'm running my mouth, there's going to be action behind it. So just FYI, people need to heed warnings. People need to heed warnings. So we've got this guy out there, and then we're at Blanche. So let's go back to Blanche. FBI does not want the Nancy Guthrie case. Let me ask you before we get started on this, how many of you guys does this piss off? To know that we've been fighting for the FBI to take over this case, and Todd Blanche is saying, nope, we're not taking it over. Did Todd really refuse the case? Yes, Mariska, he did. This pisses me off, I will be honest with you. Because not only this, but we're suffering here. All of our cases are suffering. All of our cases are suffering because we have incompetence in a lot of these cases because, again, no community has the experience. Some of these communities have the experience. Like in Polk County, I would never worry about a homicide investigation. I would definitely never tell Grady Judd to hand over a case to the feds. Him and his team are excellent. Excellent. I would never be here asking my sheriff, Rick Wells, to hand over a case to the feds. Okay? The teams here in Manatee County, they're excellent. Okay? Our law enforcement is excellent. But in Pima County Sheriff's Department, we want Nancy Guthrie's case handed over to the feds. In Sumner County, Tennessee, we want Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers' case handed over to the feds. And it pisses me off when we have feds saying, nope, families, we don't want these cases. We want you to suffer. That's what I hear. I don't hear any other excuse other than, we want you to suffer. We want you to suffer. When I hear feds saying this, we don't want the case, the only thing I hear out of their mouth is, we want families to suffer. We want families to suffer. That's what I hear. I don't hear anything else. I don't hear nope. I don't hear no thank you. I don't hear rejected, denied. I don't hear that. I hear we want families to suffer. Every single time somebody refuses to take a case on the federal level, all I hear is they want the families to suffer. That's all I hear. I don't hear anything else. That's it.
The kidnapping of Savannah Guthrie's beloved mom, Nancy. The FBI told the Wall Street Journal, quote, "The state is the lead in this investigation, has always been the lead." Mr. Attorney General, she has been missing for more than 6 months now. Is it time for the FBI to take the lead in this investigation?
It's a horrible situation, and I share the grief and the frustration that you and your colleagues have, and that the whole country has in this situation. I mean, I think whether the FBI takes the lead, we are there to support and give. And President Trump pledged it, Director Patel pledged it. The resources, anything that investigation needs, we are working as hard as we can with the state and local law enforcement in every area, and that means not only providing assistance with manpower, but any sort of forensic assistance. And so we're going to continue to do that. Whether we come in with sharp elbows and take it over, that's not necessarily the right thing to do for her or for anybody, but making sure.
That's not the right thing to do. He's dancing. You guys want to know what word salad looks like? You just watched word salad happen. Sound really good. But what did he say? It's not the right thing. Who believes that keeping this with Chris Nanos is the right thing? Raise your hand if you believe if you believe Chris Nanos is the right guy for the job, or two, he's not. If you don't know one or two, don't even answer. We don't need a three. So you either believe Chris Nanos is right for the job, or you don't know, and you're just not going to answer. So the ones that have an opinion on it, answer one or two. Is he the man? Is Chris Nanos the man? Is he the man? One, he's the man. Two, he ain't the man. Come on, Todd, fire Nanos and get someone else. I know, they can't do that. We got twos. Big Bear says, nope, Chris Nanos is the guy. Thank you, Big Bear. You're kind of all alone in the sea. You're kind of alone in the sea. I don't see anybody else, Big Bear. But thank you for playing. The feds cannot take over unless I know. Big Bear. Big Bear is either from the law enforcement office. God bless you, Big Bear. We appreciate you, Big Bear. But nobody really cares for Nanos. Unfortunately, I think you're kind of alone in your fight for Chris Nanos. But you know what? We love dogs around here. At least you stood on at least you stood up. So I like that. That shows courage. Yeah, I'm a two, Big Bear. If you don't know me, I don't really care for your sheriff. Or the sheriff. Maybe I shouldn't say your sheriff, because we don't know if you're from the area or not, but I think you kind of stand alone on that. Can they take over without Nanos giving it to them? It doesn't sound like he wants it. I mean, Todd just said it's not the right course. He just sat there and said that he doesn't think this is the right move. I mean, he's kind of staying. If you listen to how he's talking, he's saying what he wants. He's kind of on the fence. He's playing both sides. If you listen to what he's saying, he's kind of playing both sides here, but you really hear how he feels, because I'm showing you what he feels. He doesn't think this is the right move for this case, is to give it over. I think it's the absolute right move to give it over. Just like I think it's the absolute right move to give it over in the Sebastian Rogers case, because we got law enforcement that are friends with the freaking suspects in the crime. And whether he was taken somewhere, or whether, God forbid, his mother did something even worse to him, the bottom line is the parents are involved and they're friends with everybody in that freaking town.
Law enforcement in every area, and that means not only providing assistance with manpower, but any sort of forensic assistance. And so we're going to continue to do that. Whether we come in with sharp elbows and take it over, that's not necessarily the right thing to do for her or for anybody. But
that's not necessarily the right thing to do for her or for anybody. So he's basically saying, I mean, I know that you guys are getting mixed signals with his statement, but I'm used to dealing with word salad. So I'm hearing what he's saying here. And he's basically saying, we're a resource. We're not coming in here and taking this case over, and it wouldn't be beneficial to anybody for us to do that at this juncture. That's what Todd just said. Okay? You're not hearing what he's saying because he's using a lot of mumbo jumbo and word salad, but that's basically what he's saying. Let's go back to the beginning. We'll listen to it in its entirety, and you'll see.
Savannah Guthrie's beloved mom, Nancy. The The FBI told the Wall Street Journal, quote, "The state is the lead in this investigation, has always been the lead." Mr. Attorney General, she has been missing for more than 6 months now. Is it time for the FBI to take the lead in this investigation?
It's a horrible situation, and I share the grief and the frustration that you and your colleagues have, and that the whole country has in this situation. I mean, I think whether the FBI takes the lead, we are there to support and give. And President Trump pledged it, Director Patel pledged it. The resources, anything that investigation needs, we are working as hard as we can with the state and local law enforcement in every area, and that means not only providing assistance with manpower, but any sort of forensic assistance. And so we're going to continue to do that. Whether we come in with sharp elbows and take it over, that's not necessarily the right thing to do for her or for anybody. But making sure it's done right and making sure that this investigation is being conducted the way that it should be is something we're doing.
Is there an update? Are you any closer to solving this?
I don't have any update.
Nancy
I
Guthrie?
don't, and I'm sorry to say that because I wish I had an update. And I know that this type of case is heartbreaking, especially when it plays out nationally like this one has. And all I can say is that Director Patel and his leadership and the leadership out in that area of the country it will remain a priority, as it should, with resources and with energy and with focus, and we hope that we...
And I believe Todd, Blanche hasn't even looked into the case, if you ask me. The way he's talking, I can tell you because I'm used to political talk. I don't think he's looked into it. He knows about it. He knows of it. He knows that he probably had some conversations with Cash about it, maybe earlier on, but with him saying, I don't really have any updates and stuff like that, he's basically saying that your updates are coming from Pima County. That's what he's basically saying. Pima County is getting exactly what they voted for. In my opinion, elections have consequences. They do. They do. But it's also sad that, people live lives. I think people work. This day and age, we're all overworked, and I think that's by design. The more overworked we are, the less we have time to look into these political problems we're having in the country that's making us work 2 and 3 jobs at a time just to be able to live and survive. This is not the way our country should be. Somebody's robbing us blind, okay? The reason why we cannot afford housing, it's a struggle to put groceries on our table. It's not because we're not working and we're not doing our job. It's because our government is robbing us blind. Our local governments are robbing us blind. Our federal governments are robbing us. Our federal governments have so much money from all of us that they're literally shipping it overseas. Now, you cannot tell me there is one of you that wouldn't rather have that money in your pocket. I am not trying to support another country. I'm sorry, you cannot tell me that we have a bunch of people, whether you're on whatever side of the aisle you're on, that you would rather that money while you're struggling to put food on your table, that you would rather that money to go over to Somalia or Iraq or Iran. Tell me that you would. Tell me you would. Cut it out. None of us want that. None of us want that. We're struggling to put freaking gas in our car. If we have extra tax money, we want it back in our pockets. Everybody, okay? The Democrats, the independents, and yes, us Republicans. We all want the money back. We want every penny back. We have some major problems in this country, and it comes on both sides of the aisle, and I've seen it. And that's why I refuse, after this stuff, there's a lot of things that happened over the last year. The last year, a lot of eyes have been opened, and maybe it has a lot to do with Charlie Kirk's demise. But, I had an opportunity to go to Tallahassee and see how messed up that whole issue is. Why are we struggling here in the state of Florida? Well, it has to do, there's 2 parts, our local level and our state level. I'm down here on a local level fighting, making changes down here on local levels, but there's still a lot of state stuff that's preventing us from doing stuff at a local level. It's a horrible process. But at the end of the day, we have a block here in the state of Florida, and we have a super majority here in the state of Florida, and I got to tell you, it is awful. It is a supermajority of Republicans. And we're spending money and making backroom deals, and all of our people here are getting rich with the developers and being bought and paid for. But do you think the supermajority of Republicans has been a benefit to the people here in Florida? It has not. It has been good for the developers here in the state of Florida. While we're all getting poorer and poorer, they're getting richer and richer. So that's when my eyes opened. We're all in the same boat. We're all fighting the same damn shit. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's in charge. If the Republicans are all in charge with a supermajority, they will rob us blind. If the Democrats are in charge with a supermajority, they will rob us blind. No matter who the hell we hire in America to protect us, they are going to rob us frickin' blind. We need to be out there getting our underdogs and our statesmen and get away from this shit right here. Okay? The people that have money to send you this shit right here are not the people you need to be voting for. These are the special interest candidates. These are the special interest candidates. Okay? It doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat. These are not the people you want to hire. Okay? None of these people am I voting for. None. If you mailed me one of these, you went on my do not vote list. Okay? If you have a small one, if you have a little small one, if your little campaign can order something like this, a little small something, I'll consider you. But this? Nope. This? Definitely not. Front and back, thick stock, cardboard. This is mega money. This is mega money right here. Going out to everybody right here. This right here. Black print, front and back. Oh, you're talking about big money. Big money. This person would never get my vote. This person would never get my vote. So, these are things that I think everybody, this is my trick. Collect, don't throw, don't toss. Don't toss. You're wasting your time tossing. Collect. Then take these to the voting booth with you. And you go through them and you make sure that you cross them off as not being elected. You don't want any of these people. Look at this. You know what? I weighed this. I weighed this right here. And it says vote for Byron Donalds. People are going after Byron Donalds, but I will tell you this. Byron Donalds was the only one, his people were the only one that came to my door. They came to my door and knocked. Those are the people, I'm sorry. I say if somebody comes to your door and knock, those are the people you need to vote for. I wasn't sure if I was going to give Byron Donalds my vote this year, but because I got a door hanger on my door instead of this in my mail, I decided to put my vote in for him. And it was between him and Bobby Williams, which were total polar opposites. But I've been wanting Byron Donalds as the governor for this state for 5 years. I sat down with him and his wife at a Republican Liberty Caucus dinner. They were at my seat. And so I got them for 2.5 hours. Not necessarily to myself, but I can guarantee you I was sitting next to Byron and I was talking to him the whole time, right? So, I've been asking him when he was planning on becoming, but this was pre, him getting a big fat head. His head's gotten bigger since the Republican Liberty Caucus days. So that's been a very big problem for me, because when you start seeing them turn like that, then they're easily bought and paid for. And so I don't know if Byron will get my second vote, like when he comes up for re-election, but I've waited 5 years to put his name, to circle his name on a ballot. And so I ultimately voted for Byron over Bobby Williams. But Bobby Williams was really, really, really close for me. Jay Collins, I like Jay Collins, but he's DeSantis. I don't care for DeSantis. Blaze was hard for me, but Blaze did our Doge program here, where we found 112 million waste, fraud, and abuse for our county. So, I did like Blaze. I like Blaze. I like a lot of them, but I'm anti, on all fairness, even though DeSantis is about to give us a big win with this homestead reform, and I hope every state starts pushing for some homestead reform. They're robbing us blind through our property taxes. We can work our whole entire lives, pay off our home. My home's been paid. I have a free and clear home. I've had a free and clear home since my 30s. I bought this house free and clear. And so I've been a homeowner, and if I don't pay my property taxes every year, they can come and take my home, my bought and paid off home, for property taxes. I don't think that's fair. I don't think I should be renting my property that I own from my government. They don't have any rights to my fucking property. None. When you pay off your property, you shouldn't be responsible for taxes on it. Ever. It's yours. It is yours. And I'm sick and tired of people facing evictions and being tossed out of their families' homes for 50 years over taxes. Who the hell does our government think they are? They work for us. They should be protecting us. Yet they're not. They would be willing to throw somebody that's lived in their home out on their ass after 50, 60, 70 years, or homes that have been in their family for a lifetime over taxes. Over taxes. Exactly, Amy. Nobody really owns their home. And so that's what we're trying to correct here in Florida. And I hope, and I don't care what our politicians tell you and scare you. You vote to remove this. You vote to put money back in the people's pocket. I promise you, in the history of 250 years of us being here, we've survived everything. Everything. And we've always had money for everything. Moreover, we've always had more money than we've ever needed. Again, they're shoveling our money off to other countries because we have so much of it. If you can start supporting other countries off the backs of your American citizens, then you can give us some healthy tax breaks. And this whole drumbeat of the rich needs to pay their fair share, it looks like we have our fair share. If we're dumping millions, billions, and trillions of dollars into other countries, clearly everybody is paying their fair share, and obviously more than their fair share. More than their fair share. The reason why they send this stuff over to other countries is because they launder it back into private accounts for all these politicians. That's why we have politicians that only make $100,000 a year and have been lifelong politicians but have $240 million in their coffers because they robbed the American people blind. And they tried to say that it was because of some stock benefits that they got. It is not. It is true blue fraud. Okay? And if you don't believe it, look at all the fraud that's in all these countries or all these states, and they have been used to fund political campaigns. They've been robbing from the people to fund political campaigns and lifestyles around this country, while you're struggling to put food on your table and gas in your car. I just want to put that out there. I think the university needs us to hear God's wisdom regarding life. Amen to that. Amen to that, Miss Margaret. Amen to that. So there we got it, you folks. We have Todd Blanche. He is telling us the FBI is not going to take this case over. And that is very, very, very disappointing. I think that they need to go in there and pull this case from Chris Nanos. Yep, through the NGOs. Which, again, is one of the reasons why I had a problem with Bobby Williams. You know, Bobby Williams, he's a good guy. He's a country guy. I don't want to say anything nefarious about him, but he is a nonprofit king. You know, he delivers a lot of food and stuff like that. And granted, he's got a good, reliable nonprofit organization, but he's a nonprofit organization person. So that means he lives off the American people and tax funds and nonprofit funds. And, you know, is he part of is he an NGO? I mean, I would like to know, but those are questions I didn't have answered and why I went with Byron. But either way, I'm kind of upset with the federal government over this. I'm kind of upset. You know, I want to bring up to you guys that we have Seth Rogers. He's been coming out. He's been on these platforms. He's been fighting for his son for over 2.5 years now. And because of the incompetence and the way he was treated in Sumner County, Tennessee, he developed Sebastian's Law, which is a federal law, which is basically, you know, when you come to a case like his son or like Arizona, it forces the federal government to look at the case and find out if they can help in any way, like either taking it over or guiding law enforcement below of where they've bumbled or could focus a little more on, including requesting them to take over the case and to investigate the case. In 250 years, we've never had laws that protect the citizens, we the people, the bosses. Whenever we have a bad cop or we have incompetent law enforcement or investigations, there's no help for we the people. We have to go and beg the people that are incompetent to release the file to the FBI or go to the state attorney, which is usually in the hand working right along with the sheriff and would never cut the sheriff, overstep the sheriff. So you're in this situation where you're asking people that are damaging the case to move the case on because they're damaging the case. That means they have to acknowledge that they're damaging the case. They're never going to do that. Very little law enforcement ever acknowledges mistakes. So if every law enforcement very rarely acknowledges mistakes, how in the world are we going to move these cases to the feds when they're being investigated incompetently? And this is where Sebastian's law would be running supreme whenever families have these type of issues with law enforcement, the exact issues that the Guthrie family is facing with Chris Nanos and Sebastian Rogers' father, Seth Rogers, is facing in Sumner County with his son and his son's investigation. We need our federal government functioning for we the people. I mean, certainly, again, it comes down to us paying them a shit ton of money, so much money that they can send billions of dollars to other countries. Yet they don't have the resources to take over an investigation that we the people need them to take over. That we have to go and beg a piece of shit like Chris Nanos to hand the case over to the FBI, knowing all he would want us to do is sit there and have us beg him to turn it over just so he can stand over and say no, because he feels like he's God. Because he feels like he's God. So we the people, the bosses of this country, have no place to go without ponying up thousands of dollars for an attorney to take these people to court. So that is our path forward. How is that? How does that work for we the people, the bosses of this country? Why are these laws catered to the people that we employ instead of the bosses? Don't you think we should be getting benefit from all of this money we're spending, especially on our law enforcement? Don't you think we should be able to call and say, I don't want my local county working this case. I want the FBI working this case. I paid a lot of federal funds. I think I deserved having an elite team working my child's case. We've given it. Now, granted, I don't want this to automatically be the first stepping stone, right? I think that local law enforcement should have a right to investigate the case. But we all know how detrimental a corrupted case or incompetent investigation has on a case. It delays cases for years. And the sooner we can start correcting some of those mistakes by pulling the FBI in sooner to lead the investigation, the better results we may have. But this idea that we, the people, the bosses, have to beg when we see some major failures in an investigation, that we have to beg the people that are causing those major... Because look at Chris Nanos. He doesn't believe him or his team has done anything wrong. He sits there and justifies the shit we see every day coming here to this channel. The bracket, the foliage, the blood, the mat. We came here every day for 6 months and saw the same stuff sitting outside there, knowing that the assailant, that the suspect and the victim stood right there. If any other place would have magnificent forensic evidence, it would have been right there. And they missed it. They missed it. They didn't even think one had to do with another. And that same guy that made that determination, guess what? He got promoted. I hope whoever takes this case over demotes the shit out of Lieutenant Stivers. I would not be okay with Lieutenant Stivers being a lieutenant. It's time for him to be demoted. A few degrees down. Or fire him. Or fire him. I am so over David Stivers and his investigative ability, okay? My dog has a better investigative nose than he does. My dog. My dog goes out there and sniffs blades of grass, okay? Just to put that into perspective. Be nice. He's a freaking joke, he is. He is. First mate on deck scrubber has me blocked. What? Captain Obvious has you blocked? Captain Obvious, you better be nice, because I know you're a troll. I could just block you now. I could just block you now, but you ain't gonna be nasty to the fam, especially when you wanting to be part of the fam. I'm just saying. What does it say? Cap? That crap is illegal, ordering pizza to people using the names and money comes. Yes, it does. It does. And how dare them put pressure on businesses? Do you know how much food costs? Do you think any pizzeria has the profit margin to lose pizzas? You're talking about somebody's bonus, somebody's vacation time, somebody's something. Every time you do that, you're hurting a business and you're hurting individuals that had nothing to do with it. Whoever is doing that, whoever is ordering pizza for people, you are assholes. You are assholes, and I hope you go to jail. Because I'm telling you, this is getting old. And the more and more you guys do it, the more and more we're going to fight back. At some point, you guys will start going to jail for doing criminal conduct. There literally will be soon internet police. Okay? Because it's gotten so bad on here. If there's nothing more, I'm going to be pushing all over this country for literally internet police. Okay? There can't be anything more Karen than that. Okay? Welcome to the Bullhorn Karen Show. Just saying. Not playing. Now, getting back to the information that we do have here related to this situation. We did have Aaron Cross, which now I have a good understanding who Aaron Cross is. Aaron Cross is, I knew he was the president of the Sheriff's Association, the union president. But I didn't know whether he was still employed with Pima County because he goes head-to-head with Chris Nanos, and I'm surprised he hasn't been terminated. I think he's probably pushing to get terminated, so he has a lawsuit to go after Nanos. I think that's why he's just kind of, he's a cop's cop. He's like, F you. He's a bad cop. Chris Nanos is a bad cop. It seems like Aaron Cross is a good cop, and he can't stand bad cops, and he's not going to be playing well with Chris Nanos. He's just not. And he's going to push his buttons because he can. Okay? There are some alpha males out there that just don't give a shit. Okay? If I was working for I'd be the same as Aaron Cross. Screw you. Who the hell do you think you are? Right? I'm going to sit here and keep exposing what you're doing. Hi, honey. Well, I didn't say, what, come here. No. Don't be running away. Come here. Let's say hi to everybody. Say, I heard my name come. I did. I said you had a better investigative nose than Sheriff Nanos. Come here. Come here. Lila. Come. Quit. Why are you so shy? Come here. I'm gonna rip my. Jeez, Louisa. They just want to say hi. She was being a shy girl today. There she is. That's why she hates it. She hates heights. And then I put her up here, and she hates it. That's why she hates coming up here. I put her up here. Look at how sweet she is. She's just so comfortable. As long as she's in Mommy's hand, it doesn't matter how high she is. As long as she's in Mommy's hand, she's good. Say hi, everybody. I have more investigative skills than David Stivers, than Lieutenant David Stivers. I do. Lieutenant David Stivers, at least I would have taken the blood. I would have taken the mat. I would have taken the bracket, and I would have bagged and tagged the foliage. David Stivers, do you hear me? Do you hear me? All right, there, you little girl. Oh, baby. Hold on, let's get this off. There we go. There we go. See, that wasn't too bad, was it? Oh, that baby. Oh, that baby. Okay, go good. No. Mommy's going. Mommy got to finish work. All right, you got to look. She's getting so shy. Did you guys? I had to wrestle with her to get her up here. Like, she usually doesn't do that. She was a shy little girl. All right.
You are about to get an inside look at what's currently...
Okay, I don't care about your voice too much. I'm sorry. I don't know why I don't like his voice. His voice annoys the crap out of me. I've watched him several times, and it's not the accent. I love the accent. Himself. I don't care for this journalist. Okay, I've watched several of his clips. He's really good. I just don't care for him. I'm sorry.
To be interviewing Sergeant Aaron Cross, who is the president of the Pima County
It's a me
Deputies
thing. It's not a he
Organization,
thing.
and what he reveals about the way this investigation was conducted and all of the gaps in the investigation that were put in place from the very beginning is shocking. He also goes on to reveal personality
Okay.
I'm kind of the mouthpiece for the deputies and detectives for Pima County Sheriff's Department. We are the largest union of the three.
Walk me through what you were told about the sergeant put in charge that first week of the investigation. He was 6 months as a sergeant, no prior homicide case of his own. Like, who made that assignment, and did anyone flag that beforehand?
So this was before. I want to make sure you guys understand. This is before. So now we kind of have the full round, because we didn't quite have clarification yesterday when we read the article, when Aaron Cross was talking about, we're like, is he talking about David Stivers? And by the time it was, because Chris Nanos was hired in 2024. So immediately after he was hired in 2024, he turns David Stivers into a sergeant almost immediately. And assigns him to the homicide investigation where he had no homicide experience. So that's where this is Aaron Cross single. Salute, Fairy! I am shocked. I know. We have a problem on this channel with guys in uniforms. I don't know what it is, but we have a lot of girls on this channel, including yours truly, that likes to see a man in a uniform. I don't know why. It's not like I'm ready to go swing from the chandeliers, but I don't mind looking. Okay? I'm just saying. I'm not trying to swing from the chandelier, but I'm just looking. You got a nice canine there, officer. Isn't that what we said for our Lynette Hooker? Remember the what was the dog's name out there? The good-looking black dog that was there. I mean, we were complimenting the handler on his dog. What is it, Maggie or Molly? Maggie? Was it Maggie? Maggie's dog handler. You know, I just wanted to let him know. I just kept, while they were walking, I was just hollering, saying, "You got a good-looking dog." You got a good-looking dog. I was talking about Maggie.
No, he was placed in there nearly immediately. He was promoted to sergeant only in 2023, if I remember correctly. So he very rapidly went inside from patrol and then was assigned to homicide. I don't believe he put in for that. Usually those assignments are made by command. So command, for whatever reason, decided that despite the fact that he hadn't been in homicide before, that he was the right person for that unit.
And so of the
Deception Detective sometimes watches. You got a fan over here, Deception Detective. You got a fan. Here, Lazy Dave's coming in here. Guys, calm down. Okay, throw some cold water on you. Okay, Sergeant Cross is happily married. Okay, folks, happily married. I'm just saying, he got a ring on it. Okay, so Sleuth Fairy, I got some ice water. Here you go. You need a dose? Do you need a dose? I'll throw it on you. Come a little closer. He is a cutie too. Oh, ladies.
detectives on the scene, how many had homicide experience, if any at all?
They all had, because they were in the homicide unit, but it was very limited. It was 3 years or less, all of them.
3 years or less, guys. Okay, 3 years. Popcorn jurors like, here's the water. I need a bucket. So at the end of the day, 3 years or less. When we're dealing with homicides, you don't want, like, we have homicide people in our unit that has, 15 years, 20 years. Some of them are ready to retire and they're still hitting the beat, 10 years. I mean, five or more years, I think you're out. But 3 years, you're still green. You're still learning the ropes 2 and 3 years in. You're still the newbie. And everybody's a newbie on the homicide team. I mean, that's insane. They kicked all their seasoned homicide investigators in the cold case squad because Chris Nanos didn't like them. Chris Nanos is such a piece of
3 years or less. And so would you say they were novice homicide detectives? Is that experienced in your field?
That's a fair characterization. You need a lot of time in homicide to learn. It's a complicated assignment.
And so 3 years was not adequate in this case?
No, and it was almost unheard of prior to Chris Nanos.
I can tell you, we've watched Joe Kenda for a long time, and he talks about his new days, how complicated. That's how I know how complicated it is. It's not that I would normally know, what would be classified as, good homicide experience and what wouldn't be classified as good homicide experience. Sorry, guys, I got some things in my eyes. But at the end of the day, I learned that from Joe Kenda, because one thing about Joe Kenda is he talks about how he got into homicide. He talks about him being a street cop. He talks about the one case at the convenience store that nobody could solve, that nobody wanted to solve. It was his first homicide case, and it was a dud. All of the seasoned investigators said there's nothing worth, you're never going to find the guy. That's the way. They had already predetermined within the first few hours not to give this investigation a whole lot of time because they're never going to find the guy. That's what his officer says. And he said, well, then you guys don't mind if I run the case? And they said, no, we don't mind you running the case. And he found a little bracelet there with some, the engraving on it. And he took it to a friend, found out that engraving, it was a double engraved, and that was just coming out, and there was only one machine that could do that double graving, that double-edged graving, and only a few of those units were sold. So he was able to follow those units. He was able to find out that they came from there was only 1 or 2 stores it could have came from. He went to the store. The person remembers the girl that bought this bracelet for her boyfriend, remembers the boyfriend arguing about the price of it, and them ultimately paying for it. And they remember it. They were able to give the receipt, and boom, now we have the name of the suspect. And now he's arrested, and Joe Kenda is bringing him in, and all the mouths of the senior homicide people's mouths were all, because they had already predetermined, and this is what goes on in law enforcement a lot of the times. That's what pisses me off. They had already predetermined that this was going to be a dud of a case. They didn't even want to investigate it. And Joe Kenda, being the hungry newbie, wanting to prove himself to the elders, he busted his ass. He did shoe leather investigation. He loved it. And now we have a Joe Kenda in this country, right? That was able to solve a lot. I think 700 homicides he was involved in. So a wealth of knowledge, and he just took one step at a time. He just found one thing and just ran with that until it ran nowhere or somewhere. And that's how he has approached most of his cases. And he has become a expert in the field of detective work. And I wish more people would be like him. But again, you're not going to get those type of people when you have a whole bunch of 2 and 3 year people. But again, sometimes those old dogs, well, they stand in their own way too. Because let's face it, if you guys watch Joe Kenda and you watch this story that I told you, you know good and well that the seasoned detectives said this case was a dud and would not be solved. So it's a double-edged sword, where you have new people and old people, and they predetermine. When you get in your own way, when you don't allow the cases to speak to you, and you predetermine stuff and get in your own way, you already tank the case before it starts. And that's exactly what David Stivers did in Nancy Guthrie's. He had already determined that, hey, Captain Obvious, you're going to have to tone it down. Both of you are going to have to calm down. What's going on with Lazy Day? I love Joe Kenda. Why'd you hit? Oh, she didn't mean to hit that one. I think she meant to hit Captain Obvious. Captain Obvious, you're going to have me block you if you keep it up. Do not talk like that in my chat. Absolutely unacceptable. It's unacceptable behavior. Okay? Me and you have been all right, but you don't want, again, I make a better friend than I do an enemy. And if you want to say screw my chat, well, I will definitely have no problem tossing you out of this chat. Okay? So slow your roll. You like coming here every day, so I don't care. If you can't speak to people or you can't control your mouth, then maybe this isn't the show for you. And I hate to say that, but you will not talk to the people in my chat like that. Ever. Do you understand me? And I'd love for you to pop off at the mouth at me. Not phased. I have 150 more. Okay, well, now we know who Captain Obvious is. All right, go ahead and block Captain Obvious. Get your 150 more. We'll start working on him now. Captain Obvious, let's see how you survive. I'll survive just fine. You want to come in here and threaten me? Go ahead and get that URL. That is a threat to my life. So go ahead and pull that URL. Go ahead and pull that URL. Karen or Sonia, pull that URL. Block him. We need the URL. We need the URL. Thank you.
Nanos winning election, having someone with that little experience in homicide. If they were brought in, it would be one person being brought.
Aaron Cross.
Ladies, oops, I just missed it. Ladies, can you also, if you guys have a way of going back and capturing those comments, I'd greatly appreciate it. It's a pill popper known as blank screen, a drug addict, allegedly, in my opinion.
I'm kind of the mouthpiece for the deputies and detectives for Pima County Sheriff's Department. We are the largest union of the three.
Walk me through what you were told about the sergeant put in charge that first week of the investigation. He was 6 months as a sergeant, no prior homicide case of his own. Like, who made that assignment, and did anyone flag that before?
Don't worry, I see everything. I'm everywhere but nowhere. I've been seeing every channel he's been in. Thank you. All right, we'll be putting that on the report as well. Thank you.
Beforehand?
No, he was placed in there nearly immediately. He was promoted to sergeant only in 2023, if I remember correctly. So he very rapidly went inside from patrol.
Okay, so how these people get into these every single chats is because they have no job. Like Blank Screen is begging for people to send him $25 so he can buy pills. And we have that on Good Accord. We actually have the actual post in his file right now, begging people for $25 for pills. So these people have no life. They sit here and all they do is try to, they get a rise out of causing chaos everywhere they go. So, you know, I mean, what do you want? They're sick in the head. This is the mental illness of these platforms. You guys see it live and well.
And then was assigned to homicide. I don't believe he put in for that. Usually those assignments are made by command. So command, for whatever reason, decided that despite the fact that he hadn't been in homicide before, that he was the right person for that unit.
Hey, Zully, yes. Any news? The FBI has denied, Todd Blanche doesn't want the case. So the FBI, the hope that the FBI is going to pull this case from Chris Nanos is zero. They don't want the case. So we've been fighting for this case to be handled by the FBI, and the FBI is telling the world they don't want it. So where do we go from now? You know, where do we go from here? I'm unsure. But it's upsetting to me that we know how. What's upsetting to me is that we have the director of the FBI. We have people telling us that this man, Chris Nanos, has fouled up this case. This case, and they're not willing to take the case that he fouled up. They're willing to come out and place blame on who hasn't been doing their job, but failing to pull the case from him. They could pull this case from him if they wanted to on the aspect that this lady was kidnapped and abducted. That is the wheelhouse for the FBI to be involved in this case, to take lead in this case. Anybody that's been kidnapped or abducted, the feds have the right to take over. So for them not to take over this case, this high profile case that they themselves have said is not being ran correctly, is a gut punch to the people that are sick and tired of hearing Chris Nanos screw this case up. And so now we have Todd Blanche, our Attorney General, our United States Attorney General, saying we're not getting in. We'll be here for a resource for them, but you know it would do nobody any service to take over the case from Pima County. What? He's saying that it would be a disservice to take over this case. That is so frustrating and upsetting for me. I cannot express that into words on, why I feel that way. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So let's get back to this. And, it's obviously not going to be taken over. Again, this is something that we could be activists on, right? Because we have Sebastian's Law. It's a law that corrects all of this, that puts more power back into the victims' families' hands. And we have so many politicians out there not giving a shit about the victims or the victims' families. They don't care. They just don't want to be bothered with these problems.
And so, of the detectives on the scene, how many had homicide experience, if any at all?
They all had, because they were in the homicide unit, but it was very limited. It was 3 years or less, all of them.
3 years or less. And so, would you say they were novice homicide detectives? Is that experienced in your field?
That's a fair characterization. You need a lot of time in homicide to learn. It's a complicated assignment.
And so 3 years was not adequate in this case?
No, and it was almost unheard of prior to Chris Nanos winning election, having someone with that little experience in homicide. If they were brought in, it would be one person being brought in, and the rest of the unit would kind of mentor that new detective to show them the ropes on how to be a homicide detective. I had a former homicide sergeant, a respected sergeant, explain to me that you can't even call yourself a homicide detective until you've been through trial. So it takes a while to learn the ropes.
So these people had never been
in the initial investigation. Some detectives not even telling each other what.
So these people didn't even have trial. They've never even prepared for trial once. Most of these agents in the homicide investigation. That is insanity. That they haven't even. Thank you, Lori. We appreciate you, love. That they have not even, oh my gosh. They haven't even been to trial. They have not even been put under oath. They have not even gone through the meat grinder of a defense attorney yet. No wonder they had no idea what the purpose of keeping the crime scene closed down was, because none of them have ever had to deal with a defense attorney saying, well, how do you know somebody else didn't come in and plant that? These people are idiots. Incompetence. This is ignorant. All right, well, whatever.
So it takes a while to learn the ropes.
Wow.
A lot of gaps in the initial investigation. Some detectives not even telling each other what witnesses they had interviewed. Had you heard anything from the get-go about a certain moment, a witness that was missed, or anything like that? Can you point out a specific gap to us, if any?
As far as missed, I don't believe so. The issue was that it was a lot of duplication of work because we weren't accurately tracking who'd been spoken to.
I disagree. There was shit dropped at the very beginning. We saw Matt. Prove me wrong. Oh, thank you, Zuli. We appreciate you. Prove me wrong. they're saying there's no gaps in the investigation, but we have evidence, forensic evidence being weathered on the outside of this lady's house for weeks before they finally went out there and took the crap and processed it. By that time, God knows what they lost. God knows what they lost. So I'm tired of hearing that they don't believe any. Of course, things have fallen through the cracks. There was missed evidence. There's missed evidence that went through storms. You're never going to get whatever was washed away or blown away back. They fouled up this case.
Point out a specific gap to us, if any.
As far as missed, I don't believe so.
Their forensics were missed. How many believe that the forensic investigation was shoddy? How many people we have? How many people believe the forensic investigation, 3s and 4s? You believe the forensic investigation was shoddy, 3. You do not believe it was shoddy, 4. If you don't know, don't answer. 3s and 4s. Do you believe it was shoddy or not shoddy? 3s or 4s? 3s and 4s. Do you guys believe the forensic investigation was shoddy or not shoddy? 3, shoddy, 4, not shoddy. What say you, Mr. Captain Avio? Captain Avio with 150 accounts. Where's your poll, Mr. Captain Avio? Downright pathetic. Okay. So there we have it. There we have it right there. So 3s. The majority of the people in our chat believe that the investigation, the forensic investigation, was shoddy. Big Bear. Big Bear. We already know where the 150. We already know. We already tagged and flagged you, Big Bear. We're going to be monitoring you. Had to sign into that other account real quick, right? All right, so shoddy work. Shoddy work. Guys, monitor Big Bear. Not just today. Love your authenticity of your feelings. If we're inauthentic, we got no reason to lie over here. We're trying to get down to brass tacks. We're trying to find out why this lady has been missing this long and why we have no evidence in an area that should have had plenty of evidence. Tagged and flagged for what? Because you ain't right. We just heard there was a guy with 150 troll accounts. Took you a little too long to trigger, so we're just monitoring you for a while. You're new to the channel. Such amateur, not experienced brain. Yeah, the forensics. You asked an opinion. Yeah, I did. I appreciate it. We'll find out. We'll find out in due time. Nothing to worry about if you're not a troll.
The issue was that it was a lot of duplication of work because we weren't accurately tracking who'd been spoken to. And so that was kind of the missteps in that part. The big misstep, in my opinion, the opinion of many of the detectives and people in the community, was just giving up the scene so quickly. I think the next day it was given back to the family, and there was really no reason for that.
You've said that
nobody. How many people find problematic with the how little they kept the house locked down? I mean, to think that we are comparing a lot of the stuff we're seeing here to the Idaho 4 case, right? The Idaho 4, it's 4 University of Idaho students that were slaughtered in their sleep in off-campus housing right on the outskirts of the University of Idaho. And, you know, we talk about Brian Kohberger a lot, you know, because I feel like there's a Brian Kohberger effect. Okay, well, we never know. Don't get all bent and twisted, Big Bear. We're just asking some questions. We don't know who trolls are. You guys see, we had Captain Avio. You were just witnessing Captain Avio's shenanigans. That's unnecessary, cussing out people in my chat. Like, how dare he? But what do you expect from a pill popper? I blocked him a long time ago. Frank Whack-a-Troll. Sheriff missed a lot, no doubt. And his team. His team. This is what I'm talking about, though, Kim, is because it's not just the sheriff. It's his team. It's that team that he is screaming from the rooftops. It's this team that he's watched make severe mistakes and still try to justify those mistakes to the people, and then promoting somebody that should have been fired to lieutenant after fumbling 2 homicide cases. It's not just him. It's his entire team. They're not firing on all cylinders, and they have showed the whole world how incompetent. So now every time you go into court, you wonder, is this because the DA is corrupted? Because they're not doing good work. We watch the work, the quality of the work that they do, and if they're doing all of this work in all of these cases, and their work is this shoddy, well, how are they getting these cases pushed through the courts unless they've got a corrupted DA as well, which I'm starting to believe. I mean, he did let the guys go, but I think that had a lot to do with a lot of pressure from all of us. If we weren't paying attention or weren't fighting in this case, would those guys have been violated? Would they have been pushed through the system? I believe they would have. But there were so many eyes on this case and so many First Amendment scholars. I mean, I'm pretty big when it comes to First Amendment issues, but I'm not the biggest by any stretch of the imagination. And there was a lot of people looking at this, but I tell you what, we do flex our muscles when it comes to some of these cases, especially with First Amendment and civil rights. And it's not just for people like these people, it's for other people as well across this country. We do a lot politically on this, well, behind the scenes, not necessarily in front of the channel. We do true crime in front of the channel.
Detectives,
but there's a lot of work we do behind the
were sidelined because of favoritism. What is this favoritism? And who is perpetuating this favoritism? Is it Nanos or is it somebody else?
I don't know if I characterize it as favoritism. I would say what happened is
he did characterize it as favoritism. He said that the reason why Dave Stivers was promoted was from favoritism, and now he's saying he doesn't. And I was meaning to catch this because now he's saying he wouldn't characterize it as favoritism, but he did characterize it as favoritism.
Is our 2 most senior detectives in the homicide unit had been transferred out prior to this because they were handling investigations and they had a suspect for a homicide and they were building the case against him. However, they weren't quite there yet. And so they were making the case to make the arrest. However, their commander, one of Sheriff Nanos's, I would describe him as a favored son, was unhappy with how slowly they were building the case and demanded them to be arrested immediately. And of course, the probable cause wasn't there yet, so they didn't. And as a result of them moving too slowly, in his opinion, they were transferred out of homicide to cold case.
So what is Chris Nanos doing with this case? Why isn't he demoting David Stiver for the length of time it's taking to get this case resolved? Why is he treating David Stivers, this favored son of his, David Stivers, that went from just a beat cop to a sergeant very quickly after Chris Nanos was elected, to now he's a lieutenant after botching 2 homicide investigations, 1 homicide investigation that allowed the murderer to walk, and the second homicide investigation that has caused the whole entire investigation come to a standstill. He should be on the Brady list. He should be on the freaking Brady list. And he was promoted to lieutenant. It's just, these are the reasons why we're here at this moment in this case. It's all of these terrible decisions. I'm going to call it cronyism, because that's what I think it is. I think it's cronyism. Cronyism is leading the sheriff's department, and it's causing all of these problems. And I keep wondering how in the world the DA is processing these cases from this department that are doing these terrible things. Who?
Pima County Sheriff's Office, is this something that is a usual occurrence or?
Very frequent, unfortunately. Very frequent.
Very frequent. Okay. Besides intrinsic tension with the Pima County Sheriff's Office, there was also tension with the FBI. Was there a specific moment or meeting where it became clear the FBI felt maybe boxed out?
For this investigation, that's unclear. I imagine probably pretty fairly early. It's well known, the sheriff's animosity towards the FBI and why. I believe you had former Chief Deputy Castigar explain that in great detail, and that animosity carries on to this day. So, credit to the FBI. They so far have established the best piece of evidence we've had so far in this case with that ring camera footage. I'm not sure where we'd be in this investigation without it, frankly.
I'm glad you bring that up, because I think what a lot of people are looking for right now is an update with regards to what evidence either Pima County or the FBI has. Can you tell us, obviously without threatening the sanctity of the investigation, if there has been some kind of a meaningful development in the Nancy Guthrie case?
Not to my knowledge, but again, I've purposely tried to stay away so I wouldn't risk endangering the investigation by accident somehow. So they're hoping to solve this. Well, I should clarify, the sheriff and command staff are hoping to solve this case, in my opinion, from behind a desk. To your listening audience, the most surprising thing if you drove to Tucson right now would be, save for a single billboard along the freeway, you would have no idea that this crime even happened. There's not posters or reward pamphlets really being handed out, other than a few YouTubers took that upon themselves to do that recently. But typically on high profile cases like this, and I've helped out in the past, homicide, we would combine both investigative efforts from behind a desk with also street detectives who would get out and speak with our criminal element.
It sounds like none of those things were done in this case. It sounds like they haven't sent the street cops out to talk to the criminals, to rattle the trees, to, shake, to do any kind of, because we know that maybe the person might be on substances, right? They might be on substances, but no, not them. So I have a problem with a lot of the handling of this case, not just part, a lot. Sorry, I'm trying to change some customizations here. We're going to make sure that we get these people custom. There we go. So there you go, blank screen. You want to FA? Now you can FO. There you go. You guys, whoever's coming into the chat, if you're new to this chat, you're not going to be able to speak for a day, for 24 hours on our channel for today's show because of blank screens shenanigans. So just to tell you, he's going to end up being sued. A lot of this stuff is going to come back to haunt him, but until I'm ready to pull the trigger on that, we'll just deal with this. So his days are numbered. I will promise you that. I give you my word for that. His days truly are numbered before he's going to be forced never to speak my name again. So we'll just keep going down this. So guys, I'm going to tell you, I promise you, blank screen is going to be plugged soon. Okay.
Our local criminal element, because what people need to understand about Tucson is it's kind of a big little city, and there's 1 degree separation from everybody here. And so what we would often do is the street detectives, those units that used to exist, would go out and just kick the bushes and rattle their cages frequently until something would kind of turn up because, the bad guys all talk to each other by and large. And so if there was discussion of this crime amongst that community, that criminal community in Tucson, oftentimes it would pop up because the criminals, after a while, they just wanted to be left alone. And so that you would kind of turn them into unpaid informants just to get the heat off their back.
You've confirmed that one of the sideline detectives was brought back into the investigation and put on the task force. Can you tell me who this detective is or what kind of experience they have?
Well, without mentioning his name, I'll tell you that he has over 10 years experience in homicide. He's a great detective. And so I think the command staff and the sheriff felt a little heat about the lack of experience. And so when they created the task force, they decided for this one case, to put their, put it behind him and the animosity, and bring him out of cold case and make him part of that task force, which is a great thing. So the case is, I believe, still technically assigned to one of the homicide detectives that responded initially. However, they're really working it more as a collaborative effort. So it's kind of it's a team case. I guess at this point.
So a team case. Feds do not want the case. Feds do not want the case. They do not. So that's kind of where we are at this moment, guys. We have breaking news. Todd Blanche says, nope, nope, nope. FBI refuses to take the Guthrie case. That is the breaking news today. Will that change in the near future? Well, according to Sergeant Aaron Cross, they're working this case as a team effort collaboratively with the FBI. Is that helping this case, hindering this case? Well, I can tell you, the FBI still, if they're still ruffling feathers in the media, then Chris Nanos still isn't doing the job he's supposed to be doing. So there is that. So that is the story. That's what we're sticking to. Guys, make sure we go ahead and get Grote out. They've got a lot of we've noticed the increase in our subscriber counts. So now that we know we got 150, I was able to pull about 10 of them yesterday. So we've got about 3 of them today, and then we'll go ahead and start kicking the bucket for the rest of the ones that are in here and get those out as well. And then hopefully we'll have our chat back. But Queen Bee, if I find out that you're speaking to blank screen, I'm going to bring you into the federal lawsuit too. Okay? That's going to be my fuck you to you. Keep my name out of your damn mouth. And that goes for you, Christopher. B-Tim. Christopher. Mr. Brooklyn. Shut your pie hole. Keep my name out your mouth. Otherwise, you'll be on that federal lawsuit, and all of you guys can start raising money for some legal expenses. Okay? So I'll hit all of you. I'll hit blank screen, Queen Bee, B-Tim, and Burnt Toast, and you guys can all get on your own little searches and start raising your own money if you guys cannot learn to keep my name out your mouth. If you want to go for round 2, I'm bringing all of you boo-boos. Okay? If you want to FA, you are going to FO. Okay? Because I'm done. And if we want to go for 2.0, then let's dance. Looks like Jonathan Lee Riches is throwing out a lot of lawsuits. I'll start jumping on board and start throwing out my own damn lawsuits if I have to. And we'll have a whole bunch of people, 20 some odd lawsuits going on these platforms if need be until this shit stops. Okay? I'm done. Okay? Nobody deserves to be treated like this. Ted doesn't deserve to be treated like this. Tucson doesn't deserve to be treated like this. I'm done. I'm done with the hatefulness on these platforms. There is stuff that we can do about it. But first step is finding out and unmasking all of these people that are causing detrimental problems. They're committing crimes on these platforms. They do not have a duty of privacy. They're not provided a duty of privacy. When you start breaking the law, you strip yourself of anonymity. Okay? I will go to court. I will prove what I need to prove. I will strip your names out. They will be forced to hand me your names. They cannot stop it from being handed to me. You know that. All of you bitches have been paying for attorneys. You know damn well when I come after you, I'm going to be coming after your names. And I can prove that you guys are harassing me. And I can prove that you guys are all working together. I can prove that Queen Bee and Blank Screen have a connection to one another. I can prove that Blank Screen and Burnt Toast have a connection with one another. I can prove all these things, and once I prove those in a court of law, they cannot deny me a subpoena. Okay? So if you guys want to keep your anonymity, which I've tried, you know what? I come out here, I leave you bitches alone. You guys can't leave me alone. So if you guys all want to be in court, if you think I'm telling you, your hate channel people are not going to keep funding these court shenanigans. And if we got to break the whole damn hate channel genre, by God, we're going to break you. We're going to make you guys all be bankrupt by the time we're done with you. Because we're smarter than you and you know it. We do circles around you. You want to know why? Because you guys are felons and dropped out of school. Okay? We have education. I went to school to become a paralegal. Do you think you know more about the law than I do? You have to hire attorneys to do what I do. Okay? I do it all by myself. That means I only have one small fee to pay. And that's it. But I never bring meritless claims. And I'm always going to be successful for what I want to do. If I still wanted to dance with Queen, I would have never conceded. period. I would have never conceded. We would still be in lawsuit today. That was my choice, not hers. So let's not get it twisted. Let's not get it twisted. And she knows the truth. She can lie to you, which she obviously does. But we're done. If you guys want to all be in court, we're wrapping all of you up in court. Okay? If that's what you guys want, that is exactly what you guys will get. But make no mistake, there are a lot of people on these platforms, yet you keep coming after the ones that are going to turn your lives upside down. That's pretty freaking stupid. But make no mistake, blank screen, I'm coming for you. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. And who the hell are you dragging down with you? Because I'm going to tell you, anybody that's supporting blank screen doing what he's done to me for 5 years and continuing to do for me, I'm going to drag you into the lawsuit. I will hunt you down, I will find you, and I will add you to that lawsuit. It's only a matter of time, but I'm going to let it die down. And blank screen, when you least expect it, that's when you're going to get that notification. God bless you guys. Have a great day. We'll see you later this afternoon.